Welcome back to my writer's room, everyone. I'm Matt Wallace, and thank you for taking a few minutes out of your day to come hang out with me here in my lonely little writerly sanctum. I always appreciate it. Me not being naked on the vlog is brought to you by our t-shirt of the day, which is King Kong, the original. A classic and important film with some hideously racist content and undertones and overtones, which is one of the reasons I enjoy wearing it. It's always good to strike up a conversation and then completely subvert people's perceptions and memories of things they thought were innocuous. All the things they thought were innocuous that were actually filled with really fucked up subtext. Just a thing I enjoy doing. So yeah, it is November 24th, 2017. As you can see, Hamshackle Pig's having kind of a rough day. He's been crying a little bit. He's got a tissue there. That's what that's supposed to be. I have to explain what it is because I'm such a terrible artist. I always want to make sure. We'll get to that in a second. In the meantime, it's Friday. We're giving away an original Hamshackle sketch to someone who was nice enough to tweet or otherwise social media hashtag Team Hamshackle and promote the vlog here, say some nice stuff about it, let people know what we're doing. So I scrolled through my mentions and did it random. It's a really advanced process. I just scroll and then pick. And the winner this week is Sean Mansouri. And I'm probably butchering your last name, Sean, and I'm sorry, but I think you can figure out from that who you are. Please correct me on the last name, by the way. I apologize. But Sean, you are this week's winner of an original Hamshackle sketch. Email me at Matt at... the hell is an email address? Matt at matt-wallace.com. I literally forgot how email addresses are structured for a moment. I said at in my head, and I was like, well, that's Twitter. That's not right. That was special. It's been a very long week, which brings us to the fact that it's Friday. You've made it. Once again, you've won another short-term victory in the battle against this thing we call life. The weekend looms large and ahead. A lot of you may have been off for the holidays, but not everybody. And even if you were off for the holidays, I assume it was still probably a big struggle and a big victory to make it to Friday. So congratulations, everybody. You're going to get a chance to rest and reboot, I hope, if you're working through the weekend. I'm right there with you, have been there before, have had many a working weekend, will have many a working weekend. Good luck with that, and good luck to making it to Monday if you're one of those folks. Yeah, so it's, I hope yesterday went well for everybody. Whatever you were doing, whether you celebrate, whether you don't celebrate, I hope you were able to get together with family and or friends or both and eat and commiserate and just feel better about life for a few hours. If it was nothing but a hassle, a stress, and a headache, then, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad you made it through. We had a nice time. We had a nice little time. Like I said yesterday, for Thanksgiving, it was just me, Nikki, my wife, Nikki, who is my wife, not a woman named Nikki and my wife. And it was me, Nikki, Nikki's mother, and Nikki's, paternal, grandmother. Small group this year. I explained why on the vlog yesterday. You can go watch that if you want to catch up. But essentially, the important part of the story I'm going to tell and the question I'm going to get to, because it's the Friday, so we end the week with a question. The important part is that Nikki's father passed unexpectedly last December, so these are the first holidays without him, which is a very big deal for her family because they're a very tight-knit family. So the question I want to ask before I get to the story is, why do we feel the need to apologize to other people, even and especially people we know really well, for ever displaying genuine emotion? Because that's a thing. Apologizing for displaying emotion is a very, at least a very American thing, a very American cultural thing. I can't speak for other cultures, although I'm sure it's prevalent in other ones. But we were at Thanksgiving dinner yesterday, and Nikki's mother, had prepared the whole dinner by herself, which was her first year doing that, and she killed it. It was amazing, amazing spread. I was Instagramming pictures of the turkey, which we wrapped in bacon, and go check that out. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can go check that out. But it was a great meal. She did a great job. So we all sat down to eat, and they're Polish Catholic, so they do a prayer before they have dinner like that, which is fine with me. I've been doing it for almost 8 years now with them. So, we joined hands, and this was a thing that Mitch, Nikki's father, he used to do. That was his thing. He would lead the prayer. It was, he was the head of the household. It's a tradition. It's a whole thing. And this year he was not there to do that, so Nikki did it. And as soon as she started doing it, naturally and predictably and totally okay, she started to break down a little bit. And when she did that, her grandmother, who was Mitch's mother, got going because it's been very hard for her, obviously. And then Jody got going, and they handled it very well. It was a moment, and they got over it very quickly, even though they did not have to. But Nikki apologized for that happening, and I tried to explain to her, there's no reason to apologize. Take the moment, all of you, take the moment, cry into the food, it'll flavor the mashed potatoes. It's fine. It's a totally natural, expected, necessary thing. And it's not the first time that she's done this, or her mother has done this, or even her grandmother has done this over the last year, with this very, traumatic grieving process that they've all gone through. It was a big shock when Mitch passed. He was in very good shape for his age. Nobody was expecting it. It was a terrible, awful, fucked up, unfair thing, and you're allowed to be sad when that happens. And yet, repeatedly, they've apologized anytime they start to kind of lose it or cry. Even if it's in private, even if it's not in public, even though that shouldn't matter. And it's a very strange thing to me, because it's a very common thing to apologize for any kind of outburst of emotions. Emotions we deem a very inappropriate thing in most contexts. And what it really comes down to, why we apologize in those instances is because we know we've broken the unwritten rule of our society, which is you don't lift the veil. You don't acknowledge reality as it actually is. We've all agreed that we are going to pretend that everything is okay. That's really the unwritten rule of society. We've all agreed we're going to pretend everything's okay and it makes sense, even though most of the time, very few things actually make logical sense, and things are very rarely okay. But we're going to pretend that they are. We're all going to smile. We're going to laugh at everybody else's jokes, even when they're not funny. We're not going to, even when someone brings up something awful, we're going to offer very superficial condolences. We're not going to get real about it. We're not going to delve. We're not going to say what we really mean. We're going to pretend everything's okay. That's kind of the unwritten rule of society, and it's necessary as a survival trait in a lot of instances, because there's a lot of things that don't make sense and that aren't okay that we really have no individual power to change. We can't individually, we cannot change the fact that the price of everything has skyrocketed while wages have not, and we're all struggling just to kind of make it along in life, with the prices of the housing market, all of those things. They're vastly beyond our individual control, and we just pretend that all makes sense and that it's perfectly normal, even though it's not. It's crushingly, ridiculously unfair and unnecessary. But it's beyond our power, so we pretend that's okay. We pretend it's okay that, we've structured a society where you're in a family and you spend more time at work or at school than you do with your immediate family. That to me has never made any sense, and still doesn't. Doesn't make any sense. We still keep farmers' hours, for fuck's sakes. We still get up ridiculously early in the morning, everybody has to go work the farm before they can go off to school or whatever they're supposed to do. We still cut suit jackets like we ride horses, for Christ's sake. We're not good at acknowledging things don't make sense. We get very rooted in things. We're not good at acknowledging things don't make sense and changing them. So we just pretend everything's okay. And that extends to individuals with emotions especially. We feel like we've all created this thing where we're never going to burden anybody else with what we're actually feeling or thinking. And it's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, that moment used to just really got me thinking about that. So just here's the thing. I'm not trying to rewrite the rules of society on my little vlog on my YouTube channel with 215 subscribers. I have no grandiose notions of that. Just for me personally, just know that you don't ever have to do that with me. I'm putting a moratorium on the unwritten rule of we all have to pretend everything's okay all the time. When things aren't okay, you don't have to pretend they're okay with me. You can say what you actually mean. If you need to have a 5-minute sobbing fit because you lost someone you love unexpectedly and unfairly, by all means, do it. I'll deal with it. And I feel like everybody else should offer the same thing to the people in their lives. we'll deal with it. It's not you. You're okay. You're reacting normally. You're reacting perfectly normally to the situation. We're the ones deluding ourselves and like forcing this mass psychosis on everybody where we're trying to protect how we feel and our comfort level. And it's bullshit. So just know that. It's always okay to break that unwritten rule, with me at least. And I encourage you to do the same in your lives. So I'm going to go enjoy Nikki's last weekday of vacation. We still have the weekend ahead of us, which is nice, but this is the last weekday she's off. She has to go back to the office on Monday. I have to get back to work earlier than that. I actually told my editor, my Sin du Jour editor, Lee Harris, that I would have the copy edits, the last book, on to him on Monday. So I will be working over the weekend now that I think about it. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I hope you can go out and break the unwritten rule of society in your own lives and share some shit with somebody on a real level. Sean, email me and let me know where to send your Hamshackle sketch. The rest of you, I'm giving away a Team Hamshackle sketch every Friday here on the vlog. So get on the Twitters, get on the Facebooks. Hashtag Team Hamshackle. Talk about what we got going on here on the vlog. I think we're having a pretty good time. I hope you are anyway. I'm going to have more unboxing videos on my wrestling channel, Matt F. and Wallace. Nikki and I are going to be doing some more beauty product videos here, which I thought everybody enjoyed. We had a lot of fun doing them. It did get us our first dislike on the channel. Our very first dislike on Angry Writer is over on the glam bag unboxing that Nikki and I did, which is fine. I mean, you're not legit until people start disliking you. Got kind of our first sarcastic comment too, but it wasn't outright like trolling or a hate comment, so I'm still waiting for that. But anyway. Have a good weekend. I hope you had a good holiday. I'm Matt Wallace. I will be back with you on Monday. Be right here for the vlog when it comes back around next week when we reboot, and we'll all try to do it better than we did last week. I will see you on Monday.